Welcome to TerraNash. I'm Aiden, and I'll be your narrator for tonight. Thank you for joining me on a journey into the magical world of dreams, where peace, wonder, and quiet adventures await. Tonight, I'll share with you the tale of the Sandman's gift, a story about a boy named Darren who discovers that dreams are far more than they seem. They're places of healing, joy, and endless possibilities. But before we begin, we'd love to hear from you. Where are you listening from? And what time is it as you settle in to hear this story? We'd also love to know what kinds of stories you'd enjoy next. Your thoughts and suggestions inspire us, so please share them in the comments below. Oh, and I wanted to share an important update with you. Currently, only 5.5% of our viewers are subscribed to the channel, which means 94.5% of you haven't subscribed yet. If you've been enjoying our bedtime stories, subscribing is a simple and free way to support us. At the moment, we aim to remove all mid-roll ads from our videos to provide a seamless and uninterrupted viewing experience. Unfortunately, we are unable to do so because we have not yet reached the threshold required to gain control over ad placements. Reaching 1,000 subscribers will allow us to remove all mid-roll ads, ensuring a completely uninterrupted and relaxing experience for you. Your support means the world to us, and together we can make TerraNash an even more peaceful place for storytelling. If you'd like even more from TerraNash, you can check out our Patreon for early access to all our stories and a curated Spotify playlist to accompany your journey to relaxation. Let's take a moment to let go of the day. Find a comfortable position, close your eyes if you wish, and take a deep breath in through your nose. Then slowly exhale through your mouth. Feel the weight of your body sink into the bed, and imagine a soft, warm light surrounding you, calming every part of your mind and body. Let the gentle rhythm of your breathing guide you into a state of peace as you prepare to drift into a serene and soothing world. Now, let's begin our story, and may it carry you gently into the most restful dreams. Darren lay in bed, staring at the ceiling as moonlight spilled softly into his room. The day had been long, filled with school and the usual humdrum of everyday life, and now the quiet of the night wrapped around him like a blanket. Yet sleep wouldn't come. He tossed and turned, his mind flitting from one thought to another. As he turned toward the window, something unusual caught his eye. A figure stood there, cloaked in a shimmering silver robe that seemed to ripple like water under the moonlight. The figure carried a small pouch and a peculiar pillow, its surface glowing faintly with golden light. Darren sat up, startled, but not afraid. There was something calming about this visitor, as though they carried the night's stillness with them. Who are you? Darren managed to whisper. The figure smiled warmly. I am the Sandman, he said, his voice as soft as a lullaby. I visit children to bring restful sleep and guide them into the wonders of their dreams. But tonight, Darren, I have something special for you. He held out the glowing pillow, its surface as soft and inviting as a cloud. This isn't an ordinary pillow. When you rest your head upon it, it will carry you to Dreamland, a place where peace and joy abound. There, you will discover the magic that lies within your dreams. Darren hesitated, staring at the pillow with wide eyes. Why me? He asked. The The Sandman's eyes twinkled. Because Dreamland has been waiting for someone like you. Someone who can see its wonders and help it grow brighter. Will you accept this gift? Slowly, Darren reached out and took the pillow. It was impossibly light, as though made of nothing but the softest whispers of air. As he laid back on his bed, clutching the pillow, the Sandman opened his pouch and sprinkled golden dust into the air. It sparkled like tiny stars, falling gently around Darren. The boy's eyelids grew heavy, his body sinking into the mattress. The last thing he saw was the Sandman's kind smile, before everything faded into a comforting darkness. When Darren opened his eyes, he wasn't in his bedroom anymore. He stood in a meadow bathed in soft golden light. The sky above wasn't the blue of day or the black of night, but a gentle shade of twilight, dotted with glowing orbs that floated like bubbles. A warm breeze carried the scent of wildflowers, and the air was filled with a soothing melody, as though the world itself was humming a lullaby. Darren took a tentative step forward, the grass beneath his feet as soft as silk. A flicker of movement caught his attention, and he turned to see a small rabbit hopping toward him. Its fur shimmered like silver in the golden light, and its eyes sparkled with intelligence. "Hello, Darren," the rabbit said in a voice that was warm and kind. Darren blinked in surprise. "You can talk?" The rabbit chuckled, a soft sound that blended perfectly with the meadow's melody. "Of course. This is Dreamland, after all. Here, wonders are as natural as breathing. The Sandman said you'd come, and I'm here to guide you. Dreamland is vast, filled with places of beauty and peace. Shall we explore?" Still marveling at the talking rabbit, Darren nodded eagerly. Together they walked through the meadow, Darren's heart brimming with quiet excitement. Every step revealed new wonders. Flowers that sang gentle tunes, butterflies that shimmered like stained glass, and streams that whispered secrets as they flowed. As they moved deeper into the meadow, Darren began to notice something unusual in the distance. A cluster of glowing lights hovered in the air, moving slowly as though carried by an unseen current. "What's that?" he asked, pointing. The rabbit's eyes gleamed. "Ah, you've spotted the floating lanterns. They're one of Dreamland's treasures. Come, let's take a closer look." Darren quickened his pace, his curiosity mounting. As they approached, the lanterns drifted lower, their golden glow illuminating the surrounding grass. One floated gently into Darren's hands. It was warm to the touch, and inside he saw swirling shapes that seemed to shift with his thoughts. "This is a dream lantern," the rabbit explained. "Each one holds a wish or a memory, sent here by dreamers like you. When you hold it, it connects to your heart. Go on, close your eyes, and make a wish." Darren hesitated, then closed his eyes, thinking of his family and how much he loved them. The lantern glowed brighter, its warmth spreading through his hands. Slowly, it floated upward, joining the other lanterns in the sky. "What happens to it now?" Darren asked, watching it drift higher. "It becomes part of Dreamland," the rabbit said. "Every wish strengthens the magic of this place, But remember, Darren, Dreamland is more than just beauty. It holds secrets and challenges too. Are you ready to discover them? Darren's heart quickened, but the calm of the meadow anchored him. He nodded. I'm ready. The rabbit smiled and began leading him further, deeper into the wonders of Dreamland. Darren followed the rabbit as they ventured out of the meadow and into a clearing that opened to a vast sky, alive with floating lanterns. The lanterns moved as if carried by a gentle breeze, glowing softly like miniature suns. They rose and fell gracefully, their light casting a warm glow over everything beneath them. Darren stood in awe, his eyes wide as he tried to take in the spectacle. Why do they float like that? Darren asked, his voice hushed with wonder. The rabbit hopped closer, its silken fur catching the light. Each lantern holds a dreamer's wish or memory. Here, they drift freely, lighting up the sky with hope and joy. Every now and then, one may descend to share its light with those who need it most. As if on cue, a lantern began to lower toward Darren, its glow intensifying as it approached. It landed gently in his hands, its warmth spreading through him like a comforting embrace. Inside, he could see swirling shapes of soft light, as though the lantern held a living memory. Close your eyes, the rabbit said, its voice soothing. Let it guide you to a place of peace. Darren obeyed, his mind calming as he let himself focus on the lantern's light. Images began to form in his mind. His mother's kind smile, the laughter he shared with his younger sister, the quiet moments when his father told him stories before bed. The memories filled him with a profound sense of gratitude and comfort. When Darren opened his eyes, the lantern began to rise again, floating slowly back toward the sky. He watched as it joined the others, its glow merging with the sea of light above. Every dream and wish adds to Dreamland's magic, the rabbit said, hopping closer to Darren. But there's more to discover. Come, I'll show you something even more wondrous. Darren followed, his heart lighter than it had been in years. The lanterns continued to drift overhead, their gentle glow illuminating the path as they moved toward the edge of a forest that seemed to whisper in the breeze. The moment they stepped into the forest, Darren felt a strange, comforting energy wash over him. The air was filled with soft, harmonious whispers, as though the trees themselves were alive and speaking in hushed tones. Their trunks were tall and graceful, their bark shimmering faintly as if woven with threads of silver. What's that sound? Darren asked, tilting his head to listen. These are the whispering trees, the rabbit explained. They hold the dreams of those who have visited Dreamland. Each whisper you hear is a memory of hope, courage, or kindness. They sing to remind us of the beauty in every dream. Darren reached out to touch the nearest tree, its surface cool and smooth beneath his fingertips. As he made contact, the whispers grew clearer. He heard fragments of stories, a child conquering their fear of the dark, a woman finding peace after years of struggle, a boy learning to believe in himself. Each whisper seemed to wrap around him, filling him with calm and inspiration. But as they ventured deeper, the whispers began to change. The melodies grew quieter, tinged with a sadness that Darren couldn't ignore. He turned to the rabbit, concern in his eyes. Why do they sound so different now? The rabbit's ears drooped slightly. We're nearing the edge of the forest, where dreams grow faint and are forgotten. Few dare to venture beyond, for it is said that broken dreams drift there, lost to the winds. Darren felt a chill run down his spine, but he couldn't shake the feeling that he needed to see this place. What happens to the dreams that are forgotten? He asked softly. The rabbit hesitated, its silvery fur catching the dim light. No one truly knows. Some say they fade away, while others believe they wait for someone to find them and bring them back to life. The sadness in the whispers seemed to tug at Darren's heart. Then we should go, he said firmly. If the dreams are waiting, maybe we can help them. The rabbit stared at him for a long moment before nodding. Very well, Darren, but tread carefully. The Forgotten Shore is a place of mystery, and not all who go there return unchanged. They pressed on, the forest growing darker and quieter with each step. The whispers faded to a faint murmur, and soon they emerged into a clearing where the trees gave way to an open expanse of pale sand. Lanterns lay scattered across the ground, their light dim and flickering. The air was cool and still, carrying a quiet weight that Darren could feel in his chest. This is the Forgotten Shore, the rabbit said, its voice barely above a whisper. Here lie the dreams that have been left behind, waiting for someone to find them. Darren knelt down, picking up one of the dim lanterns. Its surface was cracked, and the light inside flickered weakly, as though struggling to stay alive. He held it gently, feeling its warmth, and something stirred within him, a determination he hadn't felt before. These dreams shouldn't be forgotten, Darren said, looking at the rabbit. If they're still here, they deserve a chance to shine again. The rabbit's eyes gleamed with admiration. Then perhaps you're the one who can bring them back. Let's see what the shore has to show you, Darren. As he cradled the broken lantern, the whispers of the shore began to rise, soft but filled with a quiet power, as though the dreams themselves were calling out to him. Darren and the rabbit walked along the pale sands of the Forgotten Shore, where scattered lanterns flickered faintly, each one a dream on the brink of fading away. The air was still, heavy with a quiet yearning that Darren felt deep in his chest. The rabbit stayed close, its usual cheer subdued as it glanced at the dim lanterns. Darren picked up another lantern, smaller than the one he had found before. Its light barely glimmered, a pale echo of the glowing lanterns he had seen earlier. Inside, faint images swirled, shadows of dreams once bright, but now almost forgotten. Darren's fingers tightened around it as he turned to the rabbit. What can I do to help them? Darren asked, his voice steady but soft. The rabbit tilted its head thoughtfully. The light of a dream comes from belief. When someone remembers it, cherishes it, or draws strength from it, the dream shines bright. But when forgotten or dismissed, its light fades. These dreams need someone to believe in them again. Darren held the lantern close, his heart aching at the thought of dreams being abandoned. How do I make them shine again? The rabbit smiled faintly. By listening. Each lantern holds a story, and when you open your heart to hear it, the dream begins to glow once more. Encouraged by the rabbit's words, Darren sat down in the soft sand and held the lantern in both hands. Closing his eyes, he focused on its faint warmth, letting its story come to him. Images began to form in his mind. A little girl in a garden, her hands covered in dirt as she planted tiny seeds. She dreamed of growing flowers so beautiful they would make the whole world smile. Darren could feel her hope, her quiet determination, and the sadness that had dimmed the dream when no flowers grew. It wasn't her fault, Darren whispered. The seeds were planted with love. That's what matters. As he spoke, the lantern's light grew brighter. The dim flicker turned into a steady glow, and warmth filled Darren's hands. When he opened his eyes, the lantern shone like the ones he had seen in the meadow, its golden light rising to join the others in the sky. The rabbit nodded approvingly. You've brought it back. The dream can now shine in Dreamland once more. Darren looked around at the countless lanterns scattered across the shore. There are so many. Can we bring them all back? The rabbit's gaze softened. Perhaps not tonight, but you've taken the first step. Each dream you save strengthens Dreamland and its magic. And who knows, maybe others will follow your example. Determined, Darren stood and picked up another lantern. As he cradled it, its story began to unfold, and he let himself become a part of it, knowing that with every dream he revived, he was helping Dreamland grow brighter. The night deepened as Darren continued his work, reviving lanterns one by one. Each dream he saved added to the sky's brilliance, until the once dark horizon began to glow faintly with the collective light of countless dreams. The forgotten shore seemed less forlorn now, its sands glowing softly under the lantern-lit sky. But as Darren picked up another lantern, a soft, haunting melody drifted through the air. He paused, the sound wrapping around him like a gentle breeze. The rabbit's ears perked up, and its eyes widened with recognition. That's the song of the Dreamweaver, the rabbit said in awe. She watches over the forgotten shore, weaving the dreams into stories that inspire the world. She must have noticed your work. Darren looked around, his heart beating faster. Where is she? The rabbit pointed toward the horizon, where the melody seemed to originate. She dwells at the edge of the shore, where dreams and the waking world meet. If she's singing, it means she's calling to you. Guided by the ethereal song, Darren and the rabbit made their way toward the distant sound. The air grew warmer, and the glow of the lanterns seemed to intensify with each step. Finally, they reached a secluded cove where the sands shimmered like starlight. At the center of the cove stood a figure cloaked in flowing robes of midnight blue, adorned with threads that sparkled like constellations. Her face was serene, her eyes shimmering with a light that seemed to see into Darren's very soul. In her hands, she held a golden harp, its strings vibrating gently with the melody that filled the air. "You've done well, young dreamer," the Dreamweaver said, her voice as soothing as the song she played. "Few have the courage to tread these shores, and fewer still have the heart to revive what others have forgotten." Darren felt a warmth spread through him at her words. I didn't want these dreams to be lost. They're too beautiful to fade away." The Dreamweaver smiled, her fingers plucking the harp strings to create a softer, more intimate melody. "You've rekindled not just the lanterns, but also the hope that fuels them. For that, Dreamland owes you its gratitude." She gestured to the lanterns that Darren had revived, their light now dancing above the shore like stars. "These dreams will inspire others, their light traveling far beyond Dreamland to touch the hearts of those who need them. But your journey is not yet over." Darren's brow furrowed slightly. "What else can I do?" The Dreamweaver's gaze softened. "Dreamland is connected to the waking world, and its magic depends on the belief and wonder of dreamers like you. But there are forces that seek to dim that light, to fill the world with doubt and fear. You've shown that you have the power to bring light to even the darkest places. If you're willing, I can guide you to where you're needed most." Darren glanced at the rabbit, who nodded encouragingly. Then he turned back to the Dreamweaver, his heart steady. "I'm ready. Show me the way." The Dreamweaver plucked a final, resonant chord on her harp, and a golden path appeared, stretching beyond the shore and into the glowing horizon. "Follow this path, and you'll find the heart of Dreamland, where the light is strongest. But be wary. Every light casts a shadow, and your courage will be tested." With a deep breath, Darren stepped onto the path, the rabbit at his side. The Dreamweaver's melody followed them, a comforting reminder that even in the face of uncertainty, he was never truly alone. The golden path stretched endlessly before Darren and the rabbit, its soft glow illuminating the way through a dark and mysterious landscape. The air was heavy with silence, broken only by the rhythmic hum of the path under their feet. Darren glanced at the rabbit, whose silvery fur seemed to shimmer faintly in the light. "Where does this path lead?" Darren asked, his voice hushed. "To the heart of Dreamland," the rabbit replied. "It's a place where all dreams converge, a wellspring of light and magic. But few make it there unchallenged." Darren frowned slightly. "What do you mean by unchallenged?" The rabbit paused, its ears twitching nervously. "Dreamland's light is powerful, but as the Dreamweaver said, it casts shadows. The closer we get to the heart, the more likely it is that the shadows will rise to test your resolve." Darren tightened his grip on the lantern he carried, its soft light comforting in the growing gloom. "I'm ready," he said, more to reassure himself than the rabbit. As they continued along the path, the darkness around them seemed to shift and ripple, as though alive. Darren could feel a faint tugging at his mind, whispers that echoed with his deepest doubts and fears. "Why do you care about these dreams?" the shadows murmured. "They aren't yours. You're just a boy, lost in a world you don't belong to." Darren stopped, his breath hitching. The whispers grew louder, circling him like a cold wind. What if you fail? What if the dreams you've saved fade again, despite your efforts? The rabbit nudged his leg, breaking his trance. Don't listen to them, it said firmly. The shadows feed on fear and doubt. They're not real, Darren. Remember why you're here. Darren closed his eyes, clutching the lantern tightly. He thought of the little girl's garden, the floating lanterns, the warmth of the Dreamweaver's song. These weren't just dreams. They were pieces of hope, moments of joy that deserved to shine. When he opened his eyes, the whispers faded, replaced by a calm determination. The path grew brighter beneath his feet, pushing back the encroaching darkness. You did it, the rabbit said, relief evident in its voice. Darren nodded, his grip on the lantern steady. Let's keep going. As they walked, the landscape began to change. The darkness lifted, revealing fields of glittering crystal flowers that swayed gently in an unseen breeze. Each flower emitted a soft, melodic hum, their combined voices forming a serene symphony. Darren felt his spirits lift as he and the rabbit pressed on, the golden path winding through this newfound beauty. But he knew the challenges weren't over. The shadows would return, and he would need every ounce of courage to face them. The golden path led Darren and the rabbit to the edge of a vast chasm, its depths hidden by a swirling mist that seemed to pulse with an eerie glow. The air here was colder, heavier, and the hum of the crystal flowers was replaced by a low, resonant echo that seemed to come from the chasm itself. What is this place? Darren asked, peering into the swirling mist. This is the echoing chasm, the rabbit said, its voice subdued. To reach the heart of Dreamland, you must cross it. But beware. The chasm reflects your innermost thoughts, magnifying your doubts and fears. Only those who trust in themselves can make it across. Darren swallowed hard, the weight of the rabbit's words settling on his shoulders. How do I cross? The rabbit pointed to a series of glowing stones that floated above the chasm, forming a precarious bridge. Step carefully, and don't let the echoes distract you. Focus on your purpose. With a deep breath, Darren stepped onto the first stone. It wobbled slightly under his weight, but he steadied himself and moved to the next. As he progressed, the echoes grew louder, their voices filled with doubt and uncertainty. You're just a child, one echo sneered. What makes you think you can save Dreamland? Another voice chimed in, softer but no less insistent. What if you fail? What if you're not strong enough? Darren's steps faltered, the echoes wrapping around him like tendrils of mist. He felt his heart race, his confidence wavering. Darren, the rabbit called from the edge of the chasm. Don't listen to them. You've already proven your strength. Keep going. Darren closed his eyes, taking a deep breath to center himself. He thought of the dreams he had saved, the light he had restored. He wasn't just walking for himself. He was walking for every dreamer who had ever needed hope. When he opened his eyes, the path ahead seemed clearer. The echoes continued, but their grip on him lessened as he focused on the light within himself. Step by step, Darren crossed the chasm, his resolve growing stronger with each stone. When he finally reached the other side, he turned to see the mist parting, revealing a soft glow rising from the chasm's depths. "You did it," the rabbit said, hopping to his side. "You faced the echoes and overcame them." Darren smiled faintly, his heart swelling with pride. "They can't stop me. Not when there's so much light waiting to be found." The golden path reappeared before them, leading into a shimmering grove of trees that sparkled like they were made of starlight. Darren could feel the air shifting, lighter and more vibrant. "The heart of Dreamland is close," the rabbit said. "One final challenge remains." Darren nodded, his grip on the lantern firm. He was ready to face whatever awaited him, knowing that each step brought him closer to the light he sought to protect. The starlit grove was breathtaking, its trees glowing softly as if imbued with the light of countless dreams. Darren and the rabbit walked in quiet awe, the golden path weaving through the shimmering woods. Yet, despite the grove's beauty, an air of tension lingered. The rabbit's ears twitched nervously, and Darren felt the weight of unseen eyes following their every step. "What's wrong?" Darren asked, glancing around. The rabbit hesitated before answering. "The closer we get to the heart of Dreamland, the stronger the shadows become. They won't let us pass without a fight." As if summoned by the rabbit's words, the air grew colder, and the soft glow of the trees dimmed. Darren felt a chill run down his spine as the shadows coalesced before them, forming a tall, imposing figure cloaked in swirling darkness. Its eyes glowed a piercing silver, and its voice was a deep, resonant echo that seemed to shake the very ground. "Who dares to tread so close to the heart of Dreamland?" the figure demanded, its gaze fixed on Darren. Darren stepped forward, holding his lantern high. "I'm here to protect the dreams, to keep their light alive." The figure laughed, a sound that was neither cruel nor kind, but filled with ancient weariness. "You think you can guard the light? You, a mere child who knows nothing of the balance between dreams and shadows?" The rabbit stepped in front of Darren. "This boy has rekindled the light of forgotten dreams and faced the echoing chasm. He's proven himself worthy." The Keeper of Shadows regarded Darren with a measured intensity. Light and shadow are two sides of the same coin. Without shadow, the light would blind. Without light, the shadow would consume. To protect one, you must understand the other. Will you face the shadow within yourself? Darren's heart pounded. "What do you mean?" The Keeper raised an arm, and the ground beneath Darren shifted. He found himself standing in a vast, featureless void, the golden path gone, the rabbit nowhere to be seen. Around him, shapes formed from the shadows, memories of moments he had tried to forget. He saw himself failing a test at school, his friends laughing as he fumbled with the answers. He saw himself sitting alone in his room, convinced he wasn't good enough, that he would never amount to anything. The shadows whispered his fears, magnified his insecurities until they became overwhelming. Tears stung Darren's eyes as he clutched the lantern. "I'm not strong enough," he whispered. But then, a faint light flickered within the lantern, growing steadier with each beat of his heart. Darren took a deep breath, his grip tightening. "I've faced fear before. I've faced doubt, and I'm still here." The light expanded, pushing back the shadows. "I'm not perfect, but that doesn't mean I'm powerless. Every step I've taken has brought me closer to the light, and I won't stop now." The shadows began to dissolve, their whispers fading into silence. The void shimmered, and Darren found himself back in the grove, the keeper of shadows standing before him. "You have faced your inner shadow and embraced it without letting it consume you," the keeper said, its tone softened. "You are worthy." The keeper stepped aside, revealing a towering gate of pure light at the grove's center. Beyond it, Darren could feel the radiant warmth of Dreamland's heart. "Go," the keeper said. "The heart awaits you." Darren approached the gate with the rabbit at his side. The closer he got, the more he felt the light enveloping him, filling him with a profound sense of peace and purpose. He reached out and touched the gate, which dissolved into a cascade of golden sparks, revealing the heart of Dreamland. Before him lay a vast expanse of light, a glowing core that pulsed gently, like the heartbeat of a living being. It was surrounded by streams of dreams, each one a vibrant thread of color, weaving together to create a tapestry of wonder. Darren could see glimpses of the dreams within them, joyful moments, quiet hopes, and even bittersweet memories that held their own kind of beauty. "This is it," the rabbit said, its voice filled with reverence. "The source of all dreams, the place where light and shadow find harmony." Darren stepped closer, his lantern glowing brighter in the heart's presence. He felt a voice, not spoken, but understood, resonating within him. "Darren, you have walked the path of light and shadow, reviving forgotten dreams and facing your fears. Now, you must choose. Will you carry this light back to the waking world, or remain here as its guardian?" Darren hesitated, the weight of the choice settling on him. The idea of staying in this beautiful, serene place was tempting, but he thought of the world beyond Dreamland. He thought of the children who needed hope, the dreams that needed rekindling. "I want to share this light," Darren said finally. "Dreams shouldn't stay hidden. They should inspire and comfort everyone." The heart pulsed brighter, its light flowing into Darren's lantern until it glowed with a radiance that seemed to encompass all the dreams he had saved. The voice spoke again. "Then go, Dreamkeeper. Carry this light into the waking world and let it guide those who have forgotten how to dream." The light surrounded Darren, warm and soothing, and he felt himself being lifted. The grove faded, replaced by a gentle, familiar darkness, the comfort of his own bed. When Darren opened his eyes, he was back in his room, the enchanted pillow beneath his head. The lantern sat on his nightstand, glowing softly. He smiled, knowing that the light of Dreamland was with him, ready to shine whenever it was needed. And so, Darren became a guardian of dreams, his heart forever connected to the magic of Dreamland, where light and shadow danced in harmony.
you.